Welcome to Rock Club's record album review of Bauhaus Mask. My name is Kevin Z, and I am a lifelong musician and music fan. I'd like to think I've gained some musical wisdom over my 50 years of listening to, performing, and studying music from among my many favorite artists. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my Rock Club channel, as I intend to review another monumental album each week. I grew up with classic rock bands like Led Zeppelin, Boston, and Kiss. I watched as new wave bands like Duran Duran hit big on MTV and television shows like Friday Night Videos. I witnessed the evolution of 80s alternative rock and hair metal and the rise of grunge. I'll give you my perspectives on epic rock albums spanning across these years. I hope I can pass some of this knowledge along to my daughters, Sky and Ava, who playlists include tunes from my album collection and my first generation iPod right here. Another inspiration has been gals from work who heard my playlist songs, many of them for the first time, and commented how today's music had changed so much and how Generation Z can benefit from my knowledge of these great artists and bands. I'm reviewing artists' albums in their formatted order as they were originally intended to be listened to. So keep in mind, these are my opinions. So feel free to comment, agree, and disagree. So let's begin. It was the summer of 1985, and I had turned 16, and I finally got my driver's license. One of our favorite things to do was pile in my car with a bunch of friends, and we'd drive downtown to our favorite record store, Northern Lights. Located in Minneapolis, just off of Hennepin Avenue, right next to the famous music venue, First Avenue. Northern Lights had all the coolest band t-shirts and music, including the latest British imports. While sifting through the racks of vinyl, I first heard Bauhaus being played over the store stereo system. I'm pretty sure it was the song Hollow Hills. It was like nothing I had ever heard before. The sound was mysterious, haunting, and almost otherworldly. I had to find out who this amazing band was, where they were from, and why I hadn't heard of them before. That's when I discovered Bauhaus, the kings of goth rock, from Britain. I was so excited to listen to more that I bought the cassette tape, threw it in my car on the car ride home, and it didn't leave my car for about a month. Released in October 1981, Bauhaus Mask was the second studio album by the band, released on the London-based Beggars Banquet record label, and it's a tour de force of goth rock, featuring Peter Murphy on lead vocals and guitar, Daniel Ash on guitars, saxophone, and he also did the front cover artwork, David J. on bass and vocals, and Kevin Haskins on drums and keyboards. The 10 songs were all masterfully written and produced by the band as a whole. Track 1, Side 1, Hair of the Dog. The album opens with a searing guitar of Daniel Ash, his Fender Telecaster and effects pedals creating a wall of noise, before the rhythm section of the brothers David J. and Kevin Haskin kicks in. Huge tom-tom drums in the mix, and Peter Murphy sings the tale of man's various afflictions and their refusal to change their behavior, thus torturing themselves. Such a fitting gothic theme, right? The band uses multiple tracks of Peter Murphy's singing, incredible vocal work, great screams by Murphy at the song's finale as well. Track 2, Side 1, The Passion of Lovers, was the second single released from the album. It was actually released pre-album release in July of 1981. This was common back then. It's an epic song played at their live shows and has become a favorite of all the fans and vampires who have fallen in love with the goth band. Here, Daniel Ash plays a 12-string guitar to excellent effect. During the chorus, Peter booms out The refrain, the passion of lovers is for death, said she. The passion of lovers is for death. Fantastic keyboard part, also in the chorus, played by drummer Kevin Haskins. Track 3, side 1, opens with a cool bass line. It's the song Of Lilies and Remains. Opens with this cool bass line from David J, followed by Kevin Haskins kicking in drums with a sweet, kind of reggae-like beat. David J begins a spoken dialogue story of some strange adventure, where at one point he, quote, stepped over Peter, who had fallen to the old cold stone floor, wheezing and emitting a seemingly endless flow of ectoplasmic white goo from ears and mouth. Love that line. Later in the song, it switches to Peter Murphy taking over the narration of the story, where he's rather being reborn in some sense. It's quite a neat tune. So, track 4, Dancing. Track 4, side 1, has Bauhaus laying down the funk, actually. Daniel Ash breaks out the saxophone on this dance tune. The song has Peter Murphy describing all the ways in all the places a goth rocker like himself could dance, and dance he does. Peter is an iconic frontman. If you've ever seen them live, I saw them during the Resurrection tour back in '96, and Peter is an absolutely iconic frontman. He's hypnotic, shimming and moving around the stage throughout the entire concert. The last song on side 1, Hollow Hills, is a haunting masterpiece. Daniel Ash plays an eerie sound. Actually, he's using a drumstick across his guitar strings like a bow. And this sets a very desolate mood. Then the treble-like drum sounds pound about, and David J plays an eerie melody line on his fretless bass. Peter Murphy's vocals, multi-tracked most excellently, by the way, seem to come out of some fog to the listener. Peter has stated that the song was inspired by the desolate landscapes he observed while traveling, and he wanted to capture the feeling of being in an isolated and empty place. Mission accomplished, Peter. Side 2 opens with Kick in the Eye, another fan favorite. Kick in the Eye was the first single released off the album, again released before the full album was out. It is a funk tour de force, and again has the Haskin Brothers rhythm section really grooving. Peter's vocals are dynamic, ranging from deep baritone to soaring highs in the chorus. Kick in the eye, oh, 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 kick in the eye. Track 2, side 2, In Fear of Fear, is a sonic, psychedelic experience. Daniel Ash breaks out his saxophone again and provides the opening riff, followed by a bass line by David J that repeats throughout the song. It's an up-tempo slugfest with wild keyboard effects thrown in, a real treat for the ears. Track 3, side 2, Muscle in Plastic, opens with another great bass and drum rhythm. They may be the kings of goth, but they could also fill the dance floor with their hypnotic grooves. Kevin Haskins really gets funky on this track. Track 4, side 2, The Man with X-Ray Eyes. Track 4, side 2 is a song inspired by a 1963 sci-fi movie of the same name. Peter Murphy tells the story of the main characters whose gift of X-ray vision eventually becomes a curse. Another great tune off this album. Last song on the album, the title track, Mask, is a huge sonic production. Your ears are assaulted by an array of keyboard sound effects and a thumping drum beat, which makes the listener feel like they are part of some strange ceremony. Peter Murphy's vocals are powerful. In the second half of the song, Daniel Ash, he uses his 12-string with a shimmering effect, like some witch doctor casting some magical spell. Peter leaves us singing, "The shadow is cast, the shadow is cast, the shadow is cast." Just an epic song. Bauhaus Mask is an incredible album that showcases the band's many brilliant talents and is, in my honest opinion, the best of the band's 5 studio albums. Bauhaus has reunited numerous times over the years to the delight of their legion of goth rock fans. Thanks again for tuning in, and look for more Rock Club record album reviews in the near future. Peace.